शिखरता मायापुर शशि की जय। राधा माधव कुंज जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva. Jai Gaur Premanandi. Shikaranta Sashi Ki Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. you everyone for
I think for our own sake, then if somebody loves us more than we love them, then that's easier for us. Because if we love somebody more than they love us, then that'll create some turmoil within us. You know, we'll be frustrated, etc. But if somebody loves us more than we love them, then I think that's kind of easy to deal with. It doesn't occupy so much space within our thoughts than if we really love somebody.
I've not realized how much Krishna loves me. Now, this is all sadhana about, na? Sadhana is anything but mechanical. Any mechanical. To begin with is fine. To begin with, Dhruva Maharaj loved more what the space on his father. Through the practice of Krishna consciousness, Dhruva Maharaj realized that what I'm loving matter more, na? Then I should be loving matter. And through first month in Krishna consciousness, even in the first month he realized, wow, Krishna loves me so much. Second month, this much. Third month cannot be this much. Or let's see if this much. And 6 month he was like, no, stop counting or anything. Huh? That is like absorption. Absorption we want to attain in Krishna consciousness. See, we say this now, I'll say in Hindi and then try to express a bit in English as well. In Hindi, this ISKCON International for Society for Krishna Consciousness is called what? Antarashtriya Sangh Krishna Bhavnamrit. Hmm. Very beautiful word ना भावनामृत. हाँ, अबे हम सब क्या चाहते हैं कि भगवान में हमारा भाव उमड़े, भाव बने ना भगवान के साथ हमारा हृदय का भाव. भाव किसी के साथ भी होगा तो वो हृदय का ही भाव होता है वैसे, हाँ? तो भगवान के साथ हमारा भाव उमड़े. अब ये भगवान के साथ हमारा भाव कब उमड़ेगा, कब बनेगा? उसके लिए अति आवश्यक है, अपरिहार्य है, अति आवश्यक है भगवान का अभाव खलना. जिस साधक को जीवन में भगवान का अभाव खला है, वही उसी उसी को भगवान का भाव उमड़ेगा. Otherwise impossible. So we want to be attached with Krishna. Now we want to develop a transcendental emotion, transcendental love for Krishna. That experience, that relationship. That is the whole purpose. And who can experience, who can come about, who can relish this, who can actually have this? One who is feeling that longing, that hankering, that separation. Until and unless one feels, pinches the pain of that separation, one cannot experience that union. One cannot experience that joy of union. And Dhruva Maharaj, he experienced this in his practice. He experienced this. And we'll see now, look, see, Krishna consciousness is practical in so many things. If again a bit externally say speaking, now we need some external confirmations. If a young boy, if a boy as young as what, 5-year-old Dhruva, he can do it, then why not our 25-year-old Karthike can? Okay, why cannot our 35-year-old Karthike not do it? So point being, age is no barrier or no consideration as such. Dhruva Maharaj, he went into the forest, into the woods, na? Okay, that is a thing like say Satyuga and all. Even in this day and age, we don't necessarily need to go into the forest and woods. Staying in the house, staying in the temple, staying in our accommodation wherever we are, we can yet become Krishna conscious. And it is very essential. Now we begin with this 10th chapter, and chapter entitled what? Dhruva Maharaj's fight with the Yakshas. Hmm. So we get a complete love story now, without some action, without some fight and all. It's a bit incomplete. So say we'll take this. Okay, so we read maybe text one and we continue a bit studying and then see. मैत्रे उवाच प्रजापते दुहितरं शिशु शिशुमारस्य वै ध्रुव उपये मे भ्रमिं नाम तत्सुतौ कल्पवत्सरौ. Translation: The great sage Maitreya said, "My dear Vidura, thereafter Dhruva Maharaj married the daughter of Prajapati Shishumara, whose name was Brahmi, and two sons named Kalpa and Vatsara were born of her." वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपां बुद्धिर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So we read a bit more translations and we see where the pastime is leading us, where does it stand and leading us. So I will read again text one. The great sage Maitreya said, "My dear Vidura, thereafter Dhruva Maharaj married the daughter of Prajapati Shishumara, whose name was Brahmi, and two sons named Kalpa and Vatsara were born of her. The greatly powerful Dhruva Maharaj had another wife named Ila, who was the daughter of the demigod Vayu. By her he begot a son named Utkala and a very beautiful daughter." Kartika, you read this text three translation.
Hare Krishna. Dhruv Maharaj's younger brother, Uttam, who was still unmarried, once went on a hunting excursion and was killed by a powerful yaksha in the Himalaya mountains. Along with him, his mother, Suruchi, also followed the path of her son. She died.
Read next also.
When Dhruv Maharaj heard of the killing of his brother Uttam by the Yakshas in the Himalaya mountains, being overwhelmed with the lamentation and anger, he got on his chariot and went out for victory over the city of Yakshas, Alakpuri.
Read from here until say text 10. Let's see.
Dhruv Maharaj went to the northern direction of the Himalayan range. In a valley, he saw a city full of ghostly persons who were followers of Lord Shiva. Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj reached Alakapuri, he immediately blew his conch shell, and the sound reverberated throughout the entire sky and in every direction. The wives of the Yakshas became very much frightened. From their eyes, it was apparent that they were full of anxiety. O hero Vidura, the greatly powerful heroes of the Yakshas, unable to tolerate the resounding vibration of the conch shell of Dhruva Maharaj, came forth from their city with weapons and attacked Dhruva. Dhruva Maharaj, who was a great charioteer and certainly a great bowman also, immediately began to kill them by simultaneously discharging arrows, 3 at a time. When the heroes of the Yakshas saw that all their heads were being thus threatened by Dhruva Maharaj, they could very easily understand their awkward position, and they concluded that they would certainly be defeated. But as heroes, they lauded the action of Dhruva. Just like serpents who cannot tolerate being trampled upon by anyone's feet, the Yakshas, being intolerant of the wonderful prowess of Dhruva Maharaj, threw twice as many arrows, 6 from each of their shoulders, and thus they very valiantly exhibited their prowess. The Yaksha soldiers were 130,000 strong, all greatly angry, and all desiring to defeat the wonderful activities of Dhruva Maharaj. With full strength, they showered upon Maharaj Dhruva, along with his chariot and charioteer, various types of feathered arrows, parighas, iron bludgeons, nistrimshas, swords, prasashulas, tridents, parashvaras, lances, shaktis, pikes, rishtis, spears, and pushundi, weapons. Dhruva Maharaj was completely covered by an incessant shower of weapons, just as a mountain is covered by incessant rainfall. All the siddhas from the higher planetary systems were observing the fight from the sky, and when they saw that Dhruva Maharaj had been covered by the incessant arrows of the enemy, they roared tumultuously, "The grandson of Manu, Dhruva, is now lost." They cried that Dhruva Maharaj was just like the sun, and that now he had set within the ocean of the Yakshas. The Yakshas, being temporarily victorious, exclaimed that they had conquered Dhruva Maharaj. But in the meantime, Dhruva's chariot suddenly appeared, just as the sun suddenly appears from within foggy mist. Dhruva Maharaj's bow and arrows twanged and hissed, causing lamentation in the hearts of his enemies. He began to shoot incessant arrows, shattering all their different weapons, just as the blasting wind scatters the assembled clouds in the sky. The sharp arrows released from the bow of Dhruva Maharaj pierced the shields and bodies of the enemy, just like the thunderbolts released by the King of Heaven, which dismantled the bodies of the mountains. The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, the heads of those who were cut to pieces by the arrows of Dhruva Maharaj were decorated very beautifully with earrings and turbans. The legs of their bodies were as beautiful as golden palm trees. Their arms were decorated with golden bracelets and armlets, and on their heads there were very valuable helmets bedecked with gold. All these ornaments lying on that battlefield were very attractive and could bewilder the mind of a hero. The remaining Yakshas, who somehow or other were not killed, had their limbs cut to pieces by the arrows of the great warrior Dhruva Maharaj. Thus, they begin to flee, just as elephants flee when defeated by a lion."
Maybe we can discuss until here and then say further. So if we just check or continue with it happens na in real time in real life we can check for ourselves. I strongly feel every one of us would have come in our lives so far that we love something or someone, but we are not getting a reciprocation from the other side. Something or someone. Huh? And someone loves us way more, Krishna, but we are not at all reciprocating, or we are not at all kind of making that sort of effort and all. So Dhruva Maharaj, he realized this in his meditation, in his practice. He realized that, and this is what like we see nice glimpses and a message in Shrimad Bhagavatam. He says that he felt embarrassed. He felt ashamed of himself. What is it that I am asking you? Huh? See, in society, have we heard this expression? I don't know much in Western world, but in India and certainly we hear this expression. Na? What love is blind. Love is blind. And sometimes love is like not just blind, even more physically handicapped, say, or lame or whatnot. And we see in society what when we see okay, love is blind, like, and so there is some sort of reality in this. Societal sayings and all, they carry some reality. Societal proverbs and sayings and all, there is some truth, some reality in it. Some philosophy around centered around it. Now this societal love is blind. Many times we observe na the couple, what possibility we could never imagine that okay these two will be getting together and all, but they are together. Huh? So that sort of thing. Love is blind, and this blind meaning what? In a sense, love is ignorant or not real knowledge. Say. And in Krishna consciousness, it is not a blind love, sort of what we have with Krishna or what we aspire to have with Krishna. It's not a blind love at all. And Krishna consciousness, the process, the practice of Krishna consciousness teaches us how to fall in love. How to fall in love. You know what we learned from material world? How to fall out of love. Huh? How to fall out. This is what happens in material world. We fall out. We fall out. And eventually time separates. Na? One might be married together for 50 years, grandsons and 2 dogs and 4 cats. Ah, complete family, na? Grandson, granddaughters, and 2 dogs and 4 cats. What else do you want in life? So one could be married for 50 plus years, but eventually what time separates? Na? Mrityu sarva harashaham. So time separates. So the societal meaning, this societal love, not falling in love, falling out. Hmm. And even if someone falls in love, how long does that last for? No, not at all long. But this falling in love with Krishna, only with Krishna can this happen. Hmm. See, yeah, another question, see, this thing. Many times we hear what? Material, spiritual, material, spiritual, material, spiritual, material life, spiritual life. Or generally, I hear friends, family members, oh, she is materialistic, he's materialistic, he's spiritual. So, how do we define what does material mean? What does spiritual mean? When we say material life, spiritual life, yes, Karthik?
So, if somebody is satisfied in their life, in their material life, they are not materialistic. And if somebody is satisfied in their spiritual life, they are not spiritualistic.
Good observation. What is material? What is spiritual? Hmm?
Someone who works for their soul and somebody who works for their body.
Okay, nice. Yes, Karthik.
If you love God, you are spiritual. If you love anything else, you are materialistic.
This is pretty much spot on. Our cause, spirit is moved by Atma, and Krishna is what? Atma ke bhi Atma, Paramatma. Na? This word Param is amazing. If at all, again in Krishna consciousness, if we want to ignite our Krishna consciousness, if I can be attracted by Param, by the word Param, na? What Krishna says, na? विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिना रसोवर्जं रसोऽपि यस्य huh? Mhm. Param drishtva nivartate. Huh? Param. This paramta we can catch. Now many places in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says param, and wherever Krishna is saying param, that shloka also has to be very param only. Huh? Param. What does Krishna say? Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama na 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 na. Hari tad dhama na 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 na. Krishna says tad dhama paramam mama. No. So what is param means wishes, special. Beautiful Brahmaji says na, in his Udgar, in his expression. What meditation. This is the realization of Lord Brahma. This is the realization of Dhruva Maharaj. And ours should not be any less. Ours shouldn't be any less. What does Lord Brahma say? Na? Venum kvanantamaravindalayataksam Barhavitam samasita buddhasundarangam Andarpakotikamaniya vishesha shobham Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Now, in this entire shloka, maybe this shloka could be coming on the screen also shortly. And if we check the Sanskrit itself, see, for now, if you want to say, or later on, read this in, we should study Krishna consciousness deeply, all this literature. One particular word that stands out for you strongly, say. Venum Kvanantam Aravind Dalaya Taksham Barhavitam Samasita Buddha Sundarangam. So this is Brahma Samhita 5:32, 33, maybe 30. Barhavitam Samasita Buddha Sundarangam. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Venum Kvanantam. Flute, na? What, Karthik, read the translation.
Hare Krishna. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with the figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique lovingness charming millions of cupids.
Okay. See, Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham. Na? So, Krishna playing on flute. And when it says like lotus, lotus throughout we see, na? Lotus hand, lotus feet. Namaha Pankajnabhaye. Namaha Pankajmaline. Namaha Pankajnetraye. Namaha Pankajangraye. Kunti Maharani also in her stuti prays to Lord Krishna, glorifies Lord Krishna. So poetic and so beautiful. Now look at the choice of words, look at the selection, so culturally so deep, so heart touching. Na? A bit different than rap songs, something. Slightly kind of. There are love rap songs. Don't no offense, they are love rap songs, but slightly different. The lyrics also is a touch different, maybe. Huh? So this is, huh? Sure. This is Krishna consciousness of Srimad Bhagavatam, na? Bhagavad culture. The Kunti Maharani, her prayer, her udgar, Nama Pankaj Nabhaye. She's starting from the navel. Look, Nabhaye, Nama Pankaj Angre. And slowly going into the lotus face of Krishna. So this thing, uh, lotus is a comparison. Na? All the beauty of this world put together cannot glorify Krishna, cannot compare to Krishna, cannot bring about Krishna's beauty altogether. Huh? But somewhere still we have to find our best. Na? Still we should find our best, our highest offering and all. Even that doesn't sum up Krishna, but at least we must make that much of effort. Say. Huh? So of all this, like we are short of time, but let's see. In all the creations and nature and gifts and all, there's always some fault in there. There's always like a kintu or something is a bit of a downside. Say rose, beautiful, na? Huh? So many roses are perhaps exchanged on Valentine's Day, and in India, many things are a big faff or big hoo-ha. But big hoo-ha. This Valentine's Day, I don't know why, since like childhood, What a big hoo-ha na, in India with Valentine's Day, and then this it looks so childish, so kind of uh, sort of thing, and it I don't think so. Valentine's Day is any followed in the Western world, not so much perhaps as like as such it is in India, but anyways. So much of rose is being exchanged and maybe sold out and on that dinner. What is the downside with rose? Thorn. Na? What did you say, Pip? You were saying something? Withers. What does withers mean? Okay, okay. Thorn. Hmm. Thorn. So in everything we'll find, and see why many times Krishna's beauty is compared with lotus, like in here, na Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalayataksha, lotus pattern and like that. So why lotus like say? Few things. See, lotus beauty is very beautiful, definitely, undeniable beauty. Yes, Karthi. Yeah, it grows in mud. That is there. In it grows in mud, but the beauty is it never catches mud. It grows in mud. It lives in mud, but never catches mud. Hmm. So likewise, Krishna, na, he creates the material world, but is never into the material world. He appears in the material world, but he's never touched by the modes of material nature at all. He's above the modes of material nature and all. So Barhavitam Samasita Buddha Sundarangam. So that this is like describing, explaining the beauty of Krishna. Na? Kandharpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Kamaniya, such Kamaniya, such splendid, such awe-inspiring. And what is the Sanskrit meaning for Vishesha? What is the Sanskrit meaning for Shobham?
Whose loveliness.
Shobham, whose loveliness, and Vishesh, unique. Huh? Vishesh means what? Special, na? What is so Vishesh about him? What is so special about him? So this thing, Vishesh meaning again Param, this Param or Vishesh, we have to be attracted by this transcendentalness, this Paramta or this Visheshta, this uniqueness, this special thing of Krishna. Who is Krishna? Krishna is Vishesh Narayan. Who is Krishna? Krishna is Vishesh Narsimha. Who is Krishna? Krishna is Vishesh Lord Ramchandra. Who is Krishna? Krishna is Vishesh all Vishnu Murti. All Vishnu Murtis combined, Krishna is that. Even all Vishnu Murti combined, still Krishna is beyond. Say, still Krishna is beyond. One of the many mystical shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. One of the mystical shlokas in Bhagavad Gita is 9.4. Very scientific also and very mystical, and someone who has good appreciation for science and physics and the workings of this world, mathematics 9.4, should find a lot of inspiration from it. So I think we should be having, yeah, and maybe we can request Natalie to just read the translation of this. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. Matstani sarva bhutani. Matstani sarva bhutani. Beautiful Krishna is saying. Maya tatam jagat sarvam मया ततम इदम सर्वम जगत अव्यक्तम मूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहम तेषु अवस्थिता. So yeah, Natalie can read the translation.
By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them.
All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Huh? So this in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. Means in his Vishnu form, Vyapak, na? Sarva Vyapak iti Vishnu. In his Vyapak Vishnu form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me. I am, but I am not in them. Meaning what? Krishna is not at all materially attached with us. Not at all. and we are hardly spiritually attached with Krishna. We are hardly spiritually attached with Krishna. When we become spiritually attached with Krishna, then and this is why this is like, uh, we cannot catch Krishna, we cannot sum him up. Someone might say, no, okay, when you bring together all total material creation, all total material manifestation, all glories and everything, and then yes, we can bind Krishna. This is the limit. No, Krishna says, Matstani sarva bhutani na chaham teshu avastita. Uh, cannot reach, cannot compare. So Krishna is that special, is that vicious, and furthermore, so Param. So this Paramta, if we can be attracted towards that Paramta of Krishna, then it will really, the Krishna consciousness will be very charming, very appealing. If we can find our appreciation and attraction towards the mysticism or mysteries in Krishna consciousness, na? What life it is without, say, mysteries and mysticism. But again, our mystery and mysticism sort of in life is thrill or adventure is, oh, I have a MOT to pay or go through, I did not do it, and still I managed to skip it and all. Oh, what a mystery. This sort of mystery and all is more our sort of thing. So very material oriented, very mundane oriented. But the joy and mysticism Krishna in Krishna consciousness is all completely transcendental. So again, maybe aligning ourselves again. What we since eternity we have been trying to love matter, but not getting loved by matter. Huh? And now we have a chance for eternity. For eternity, from now on, for eternity, we can love Shishikharantai Mayapur Sashi to our heart's content, and we can realize, wow, whatever we are giving in, we are getting more and more and way more out of it. And there are various, of course, there is no like thumb rule, or there is no like a scripted definition of what is material or what is spiritual. Huh? But this thing, wherever, whatever leads us in the love to Krishna, whatever gets helps us say, attain our love for Krishna, that is spiritual. And whatever puts us away from Krishna is matter. What is Maya? Uh, Whatever that distracts our absorption, our sadhana, our meditation in Krishna is Maya. Whatever that distracts our in Vaishnav Seva, in Hari Guru Vaishnav Seva, that is Maya. Now for Bharat Maharaj, Maya appeared in the form of a deer, na? In the form of that baby deer. Hmm? So whatever distracts our meditation is Maya. And we are anyways already so distracted. Na? People say, "No, do not disturb me, I'm already so disturbed." So, do, not, do not distract me, I'm already very, very distracted. So, okay, fine, we'll not try further to at least distract ourselves and say. So in here, Dhruva Maharaj realized in his meditation, in his practice, in his prayers and worship, that yes, I was wanting what? A space in my father's lap. Huh? And see, this is Krishna consciousness. And where what he got? A space in Krishna's heart. And when he found the space in Krishna's heart, he found a much bigger space in his father's lap altogether. And he got a kingdom way much bigger than what he asked for, what he could imagine for. So again, point being, practicing Krishna consciousness, it is not like one is materially impoverished. Hmm. Externally may seem okay, such a tight spot, like for Kunti Maharani, the Pandavas, externally may seem, for Sudama also, may seem externally, oh wow, so dilapidated condition he's living in. Oh well, I don't want. Someone may ask now, why did Krishna uh, give this 5-year-old boy so much? Generally, see, again in society we see now a young boy, a young boy or girl, we give them toys to play with, but only some restricted or small toys, and ins gradually and all, because we know, okay, he will break this, okay, let him play and break this, and then we give another toy and all. So why did Krishna give way more to Dhruva Maharaj than what he asked for? And when he actually got darshan of Lord Narayan, he didn't want anything. So just see, Krishna is intelligent, na? He wants to keep a good name for himself. That if a 5-year-old boy comes and does such meditation, such sadhana, such call, na, for me, and if I do not give him, then it doesn't set a good precedence. It doesn't set a good standard. Na? How do I appeal to others then? Huh? I've got many others to appeal. Na? I have to. It doesn't create a good portfolio. Na? It doesn't bring in good online reviews. Huh? If you don't get in, kind of give that much to a 5-year-old boy, and also to demonstrate that Krishna's devotees never perishes, or Krishna's devotees, na, to demonstrate that before we go into the embarking into life further on, Dhruva Maharaj got all this training, all this sadhana, na, mind control, sense control, and further on. And Krishna knows he trusts Dhruva Maharaj, that Dhruva Maharaj giving him all this opulence and how he will use it. A pious, gentle, moral king and spiritual king, and he will promote Krishna consciousness in society, propagate Krishna consciousness. And also to see, let us see if Dhruva got deviated or not. Huh? It could be, see, there's a difference now, huge or small, you may let me know. Prajapati Daksh also got darshan of Lord Narayan. May not be in 6 months' time, whatever time. Prajapati Daksh also got darshan, na? And we see Prajapati Daksh, right? Indra, Chandra, Varun also get darshan of Lord Narayan through the assistance of, say, Lord Brahma. Hmm? But their seva is very different. Their seva is very different. They do not get the sanidhya. Sanidhya meaning the association. That they do not get. Uh, Maybe handshake is there, some contract is there, and okay, some service agreement, some delivery, and some things is there, and okay, off they go. They don't get that association. But in this instance, Dhruva Maharaj getting darshan, and we are what? We are darshan abhilashi and what? Seva abhilashi. Look, this is the thing, na? Tulasi Maharani's prayer, na? Seva abhilasham koro nijadasi. Seva adhikar diye koro nijadasi. Now, when we get seva of the divine couple, then it is a smart move, na? What, getting seva of the divine couple, then we have to report as well, right, to the divine couple. Okay, how is the seva going on? Have you done this? Yes, we have done this and all. So that sort of dialogue, na? So this asking for seva is great. So Dhruva Maharaj, not just he got darshan and then okay, Narayan went and this went. Even more to further intensify Dhruva's longing for Krishna, and to demonstrate, yes, a 5-year-old boy can attain Krishna consciousness, and to demonstrate that okay, what we go for, Krishna gives us way more say. And now we are seeing what Uttama and his mother, huh? They went into the forest. Na, they uh, left their body in some forest fire. Yeah, and text 5 says, na, Dhruva Maharaj heard of the killing of his brother Uttama by the Yakshas in the Himalaya mountains. So the Yakshas killed his brother, and yeah, he went on an exertion, hunting exertion, na? And his brother was killed by the Yakshas. And Uttama's mother, Dhruva's stepmother, Suruchi, she passes away in forest fire. Now, Uttama, when he heard of this, he ran. He ran. So it's not like a sadhu or a king. He should not be showing anger or this sort of, although in devotional life there is no scope of revenge. There's some things for a sadhaka, there's no scope of that. There should be no scope. There should be no scope for any duplicity in a sadhaka's life. That has to be completely wiped off. No scope for duplicity, no scope for diplomacy as well. Hmm. Eh, living in societal world, some relationships and all, friends, family, work wise and all, and even in temple community and things and all, and dealing with management, administration, and Vaishnava dealings and all, there can come about diplomacy and all, which is okay as long as it doesn't lead towards a Vaishnava aparad, or as long as it is for that intent or purpose to intensify the Vaishnava relationship. In the sense, our diplomacy should not be in the garb of duplicity. Uh, Diplomacy should not be in the garb of duplicity. Diplomacy should not be to feed the agenda of duplicity. That should not be there. Okay. Diplomacy meaning this, na, that uh, having a diplomatic relationship or having a diplomatic view or diplomatic sort of stand, that we do not want to hurt or offend someone, we don't speak out the truth, say and all, and we just take a diplomatic view in the sense, um, always trying to sound Mr. Right or Mr. Good. Huh? Very diplomatic, na? That not straightforward answer, not straightforward thing. In heart something else, but in expression, in words, bringing out some soft, gentle sort of thing. Hmm? Soft, gentle, and such holy or elevated and this and that, but carrying something other mood in the heart. So there should not be like diplomacy. Diplomacy in a way like having a cold relationship with someone. Hmm. But sometimes it is essential, or it is okay also, as long as it is, there is not from inside, there is no Vaishnava aparad intent involved, and as long as it fructifies or it leads or it opens to a good relationship. Yeah. As long as it opens the door or to a good relationship. So Dhruva Maharaj here, he is getting angry. Yes, a sadhaka, a devotee can get angry. A king, na, a kshatriya, he's still responsible, and he's still following those duties and maintaining those responsibilities. Na, see, a surgeon. How important is it for a surgeon to wash his hands before going for a surgery? Extremely important, right? How important is it for a surgeon to put on gloves or his doctor dress and things and all, his doctor head before going into surgery? Extremely important, na? For the nurses and everything as well. Huh? Yeah, mandatory, extremely important. That um, how important it is, like for teachers, say, to be on time in school, or at least they should be arriving before children arrive, before the school starts. Huh? It is quite important for teachers, right, to be calm, patient, to set up a good standard, a good behavior, and all. How important is for a soldier to have proper guns, ammunitions when in war, and to be maybe where needed to put on a bulletproof jacket. Very important, no? So, like again, point being, a surgeon, he should never go into a surgery without wearing the proper paraphernalia, let's say, without the proper equipment, dress, and all everything, gloves and the doctor head, the doctor coats. Uh, Imperative. Otherwise, he won't do the job properly, and it's putting risk to himself and putting risk to the patient as well. Likewise, for us sadhakas, before we embark for glories in this world or taking big roles, work wise, study wise, family wise, relationship wise, it is much important that we actually take a step back. It seems like a step back, but it is not at all a step back. We give ourselves time, we isolate, and we go deep in sadhana, we get deep in Krishna consciousness, go deep in practice. Then only we can save ourselves, and we can then only offer much to the society. Like when we started off with this question. Now, what advice would we give to Dhruva? Huh? Like a 5-year-old boy coming to sit on his father's lap. He deserved it, did he not? Did he not deserve? So, if we want to grow in Krishna consciousness, we have to give up this deserving mentality. If I give up this deserving mentality, then Krishna will give us what I do not even deserve. If I give up this deserving mentality, otherwise, it's like deserving mentality is equivalent to claiming mentality. Na? Claiming mentality is equivalent to proprietorship mentality, which is like equivalent to controlling mentality. I claim this, I deserve this, I own this, I control this, I want this. Equivalent to complete sense gratification mentality. Hare Krishna. Uh, maybe Karthik can say, there's a saying a bit in Hindi, right, Karthik? Huh? एक ही थाली के how do- एक ही थाली के चट्टे बट्टे, something like that. So in the sense, yeah, call it false ego, call it this thing, that thing. Ultimately, it is like another form of self-obsession. Another form of self-obsession. Now call it false ego, this, that. There are different layers and all, different layers, like predominantly 4 layers, na? False ego, uh, mind, intelligence, senses. Somewhere we have to fill in the blank, na? Somewhere we have to fill it up. So yeah, false ego. The falsely we want to claim, falsely we want to enjoy, falsely like I deserve it, I deserve it. What we really deserve is Krishna's grace. What we really deserve is Krishna's love. Yes, babe.
On the question that you started with in this pastime, your question was, what advice would we give to Dhruva Maharaj? And we discussed like it would be the only the same advice that his stepmother gave, to worship Lord Narayan. So how does that like work practically? Maybe somebody comes to us with a situation and we just say, "Oh, just chant Hare Krishna, it's fine." Then it can come across a little bit cold, no?
This advice Prabhupada gave, na, everyone chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. That is the thing, yeah. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Now, if we see Suruchi, she said this, okay, worship Narayan. Amongst all of the things, she dropped this sentence, okay, worship Narayan. Then Dhruva went to his mother Suniti, and Suniti a bit more expanded on it. The first thing Suniti said is that you should never think bad or think envy or think of a misfortune of someone. Do not carry hatred for anyone. Do not feel on those lines and all. And then she added more that do Narayan worship. And then Dhruva Maharaj went into the forest. Where will I find Narayan? Okay, Narayan, you will find him in the forest. Go, sages and all have gone to the forest. Kings have all gone to the forest, and go to the forest and do meditation. You will find him there. So okay, so Dhruva then makes his way towards the forest, and by divine arrangement, complete divine intervention happens. Narad Muni comes in. Narad Muni first checks him, and then Narad Muni doesn't leave him then and there, not saying, okay, yes, go to the forest and chant Hare Krishna and be happy. No, Narad Muni tells, na, wake up early in the morning, create a peaceful environment on the banks of Yamuna, Madhuvan and all. And then he's being, see, two things, na. One is to be guided by the super soul. As somewhat in Christianity, what they say, to be guided by the Holy Spirit. Somewhat. But anyway, so one is to be guided by the super soul, and another is to be guided by what the divine inspiration from Guru Maharaj. That thing. Ah, when a sadhaka actually takes Guru Padashraya, then it is the divine inspiration and instructions of Guru Maharaj which takes over the call of the super soul, which takes over. We see this in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Uh, Beautiful. 11:29:6. Krishna says this, I think, yeah. This that even if I get a long life as a Acharya Chetya Vapusha Na Gatim Vinakti, something. So anyway, so being directed by the instructions and inspiration from spiritual master. So Narad Muni, he was directing na Dhruva Maharaj, and it's not like Narad Muni physically could be far away, but he wasn't any in separation from Dhruva Maharaj. So for us, we ought to have that conviction. Na? The message will penetrate to the level of faith or conviction we have in Krishna consciousness. To that degree, the message will penetrate. To that degree, we can attract the mercy of Krishna. Say, to the degree, say, we are trying to become Krishna conscious. And for that, yeah, purity. If we ourselves are not pure or slacken in our practice of Krishna consciousness, in our desire, intent, understanding, and all, then it won't rub off on others. It won't come about. It won't come about. So, and it is not externally, and it may seem very cold. This is why, na, in society, they say, "Oh, you Hare Krishnas, what have you got to do? You just chosen an easy life. Anyone can do this. Huh? Can you take on this struggle and all?" Or, yes, I know what you are going to say. You are going to say, "Chant Hare Krishna and be happy." Na? Chant Hare. But when we a bit present ourselves more constructive, more say convincingly, more caringly and all, then yes, we can call for that mercy, and we should always remind ourselves that we are trying to be an instrument in the will and hands of Mahaprabhu. We are not the Mahaprabhu will do the job through us only when I take myself as an instrument. The moment I think that okay, I am the doer, then Mahaprabhu won't at all use me. Cannot use me, na? We ask this question, what? Uh, See this question, what? Mm, In order to work in a company, say, does a company look for a qualified person or an unqualified person? Qualified person. In order to work for Krishna, does Krishna look for a qualified person or an unqualified person? Hmm? In order to work for a company, in order to work for HMRC or university, wherever, university looks for a qualified student, right? Have you done your GCSE O level to go into uni? Huh? Have you got that certificate, mark sheet, and all? Now company looks okay. Have you done the uni? Can you show your grades and all? What is your qualification? In order to work for a company, it looks for qualification. Now, in order to enter into real Krishna consciousness, Krishna, what does he look for? Qualification or unqualified, qualified or unqualified? Krishna looks for someone who is certified unqualified. Krishna can never work with someone who is qualified. That's like complete mockery. Krishna, I'm qualified. You can use me. Huh? I'm qualified enough. I can get your thing done. Krishna says, okay, fine. So you be on your own. Krishna can never use someone who is qualified. Krishna can never use someone who is fool. If someone is already full with himself, na, fool with himself, then we are making a fool of ourselves. If I'm any iota of full with myself, then I'm making a fool of myself. And if I have to really experience fullness in life, na, not emptiness, fullness in life, then I have to demonstrate to Krishna that I am a fool. And that doesn't mean that I don't study, read, chant, or do my office work properly and all. No, to the best of our ability, and to the best of our ability, we'll realize how fool we are. So it's paradoxical, completely paradoxical. Society needs someone who is a qualified plumber, a qualified DIY person. Society needs that. Krishna needs someone who is unqualified. Then Krishna can use him. Means he's flexible. Yes, he's open. Yeah, willingness. Krishna can use him. But if someone is willing also, but at the same time he's qualified, he's thinking, Krishna, I'm willing to do it for you, and I'm qualified as well. Then that willingness with qualified doesn't work. Most important is this unqualified attitude, and that doesn't mean that Krishna is looking as in a way for someone who is say dumb. May not be a very good choice of word or good choice of expression of what I'm trying to help myself understand. But we have to dumb meaning materially we have to be dumb. Materially we have to be exhausted. Only then Krishna can use us. So it is a fact. Our spiritual journey will begin only when we are materially consumed, or we will understand Krishna consciousness, the nitty gritty, the spirit, the mysticism of Krishna consciousness, only when we are through with matter. If we are not through with matter, we won't. We cannot. So, does this somewhat answer your question, Pip? Us practicing Krishna consciousness, point is this only: chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This is the thing, this is the solution and all. Huh? But then the presentation, the packaging, the how we present and all, and what mood, what light, how much Krishna conscious are we? How much Krishna conscious are we? That conviction, that is what we will be passing on and further. Okay, so let us read maybe text 21 onwards. Hey Radhika, will you read text 21 onwards? Okay, maybe tomorrow. So Karthik and Pip read text 21 onwards, is it? Either of you read.
Hare Krishna. Dhruva Maharaj, the best of human beings, observed that in the great battlefield not one of the opposing soldiers was left standing with the proper weapons. He then desired to see the city of Alakpuri, but he thought to himself, no one knows the plan of the mystic Yakshas. In the meantime, while Dhruva Maharaj, doubtful of his mystic enemies, was talking with his charioteer, they heard a tremendous sound, as if the whole ocean were there, and they found that from the sky a great dust of storm was coming over from all directions. Within a moment, the whole sky was overcast with dense clouds, and severe thundering was heard. There was glittering electric lightning and severe rainfall. My dear faultless Vidura, in that rainfall there were blood, mucus, pus, stool, urine, and marrow falling heavily before Dhruv Maharaj, and there were trunks of bodies falling from the sky. Next, a great mountain was visible in the sky, and from all directions hailstones fell, along with lances, clubs, swords, iron bulgins, and great pieces of stone. Dhruv Maharaj also saw many big serpents with angry eyes, vomiting forth fire and coming to devour him, along with groups of mad elephants, lions, and tigers. Then, as if it were time of the dissolution of the whole world, the fierce sea, with foaming waves and great roaring sound, came forward before him. The demon yakshas are by nature very heinous, and by their demonic power of illusion, they can create many strange phenomena to frighten one who is less intelligent. When the great sages heard that Dhruv Maharaj was overpowered by the illusionary mystic tricks of the demons, they immediately assembled to offer him auspicious encouragement. All the sages said, "Dear Dhruva, O son of King Uttanpad, may the Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Sargna Sa-
Shangadhanva.
Dhanva.
Sarangadhanva, who relieves the distress of his devotees, kill all your threatening enemies. The holy name of Lord is as powerful as the Lord himself. Therefore, by simply chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord, many men can be fully protected from fierce death without difficulty. Thus, a devotee is saved.
Very good. Shishikharantai Mayapur Sashi ki.
Jai.
So we see Dhruva Maharaj's fight with the Yakshas. No? So hearing the news, him and his brother went for excursion. Hearing the news, his brother was killed by the Yakshas in the Himalayas mountains and all. Uh, Following his kingly duties and family duties as well, it is his responsibility to watch out and look out for his brother and who did and what. And he went into a fight with the. He became angry, and he went into a fight with the Yakshas. King is who? Who is the representative of God? No? King is the representative of God. Now, for any state, if the leader of the state has the power, he has the position, he has the authority, right? Now, if the leader of the state, he is not, uh, he's allowing what prostitution business, he's allowing this animal killing so much, he's allowing intoxication and gambling and all this putting into illusion. It is not good, not at all good. So Dhruva Maharaj went on to check the yakshas and to set the path accord, to set the chord right altogether. And he's having this fight with the yakshas and also careful, okay, of the mystic powers and mysticism and illusion and what all they bring about, and getting overwhelmed sometimes, overpowering the yakshas and also being say overpowered by the yakshas as well. Huh? And in when being overpowered by the yakshas and all, so this is the thing, divine and demoniac mentality. Dhruva Maharaj, of course, a devotee of Krishna, and so he's taking shelter of Krishna and taking the shelter of the saints and saintly people. And saintly people, sages, when they hear, uh, see, subtle is, it's a fact of life. Subtle is more powerful than the gross. Subtle rules over the gross. Subtle. Uh, Subtler than the senses is the mind. Subtler than the mind is the intelligence. Subtler than the intelligence is the ego. uh, the consciousness, the soul proper. So subtle rules the mind. So the sages, through the prayers and subtle mantra chanting and all, they got Dhruva revived altogether, his confidence, his faith, and gave him strength to further say fight on with the yakshas and with this blessing. So the blessings of the saint, there is no holding back. There is no power as strong as the blessing of the saints. Hmm. We just need to come to a position wherein we can take on that blessing. Uh, Like we will understand that we have been blessed by a saint in Krishna consciousness. How? When we stand under his feet, then only we can understand that we have been blessed by a devotee in Krishna consciousness. When we stand under his feet, then only we will understand the message or of Krishna consciousness overall. Eh? And standing under his feet means what? Following the devotee, following the sadhu, following the devotee. And following doesn't mean, okay, just following on YouTube or like that, or following his uh, itinerary, where is he going and all. No, following means following, yes, physically also following, and following the teachings. What does a what does the saint or sadhu want us to be, want from us? He wants us to be a pure devotee of Krishna. So we follow that lead. So we follow that train. Okay. Any final thoughts, questions, or comments or clarification? Okay. Thank you very much for your kind participation and encouragement. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll move on to next chapter, chapter 11, and we'll see furthermore what goes on in this pastime, and we'll see more. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की,
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरि बोल
Bhakta Ashish Prabhu ki.
जय